Live. All right, my friends. Come onto your mat. Let's go ahead and start down on our backs. And once you arrive on your back in this Wind Down Wednesday practice, decide what you would like to do with your legs. So what do you need? I like to bring the soles of the feet together and open the knees. I always love a good hip opener. If that's too much for you, good time to welcome those blocks that I encourage you to bring to your mat behind or under the knees. If that doesn't feel right to you, maybe a traditional shavasana where you let the body extend, reaching the arms and the legs away from the midline of the body, just melting. Maybe you plant the feet flat and knock the knees in for another kind of hip stretch. So take a moment, situating yourself, feeling the back rooting to the earth. And once you've arrived into stillness, take a big breath in. Open up the mouth. Sigh it all out. Letting go of all the energy of what's come before this moment and arriving here now. One of the goals for our Wind Down Wednesday class is not only to notice how we can stretch the body and slow things down, maybe hold things a little longer than normal, but it's also to just get out of our head, get out of the busyness that we are constantly creating and hosting in our mind. Give us a chance to tune into the intuition of the body, being present for ourselves. I'll share with you, on that note, a reading from Morgan Harper Nichols, her anthology, All Along You Were Blooming. Being yourself does not mean you have to have yourself all figured out. It just means you're allowed to show up without the expectation of who someone else said you should be. Anytime that word should comes into play, it gives me a little cringe. Right? Things that people tell us we should be doing, or things we think we should be doing or performing to rise up to an expectation or standard. And I always tell people, don't should on yourself. Shoulding is a very, very dangerous slope to slide on. Why not just allow yourself to be as you are and connect with that essential being in its most natural form? Place one hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. Start to become aware of the breath that you hold in your body. It's always good to check in with your breath each day, because each day it might be a little different, responding to the story of your life in that moment. So notice how it feels this morning. If you're harboring any anxiety or fear, worrying about something that's yet to happen, maybe your breath is a little shallow this morning. If you had a good night's sleep and you're feeling at peace today, maybe your breath is more full, nice and easy and smooth. Start to cultivate a deep ujjayi. I'm sorry, no, we're not going to do ujjayi just yet. We're going to do a Durga breath, a 3-part breath. So as you begin to inhale, feel the lungs pressing into the diaphragm expanding the belly, and then feel that breath continue to rise up into the rib cage, traveling all the way up to the palm, resting on your chest. The chest becomes full. And then begin to release through the chest, through the rib cage, drawing flatness into the belly again, sinking the lower back into the earth. So in a traditional Durga breath, there is a slight pause between each of those three parts, but I invite you to do what feels right to you. Maybe you maintain fluidity in the breath without the pause, or maybe you find the pause, that symbolic space between two things where you can just be. Being present for yourself through breath as a way to honor your body, honor the simplicity of the energy that's constantly flowing through you, the energy that nourishes and heals, cleanses. And then if you would like to layer onto your Durga breath, your Ujjayi pranayama, that is your breath that comes in and out of the nose, and it invites a little whispering into the throat muscles, a little slight constriction, just a little bit, so that you can hear the breath and feel the breath, creating a little bit more warmth in the body. So it's a very active, conscious breath. For the Star Wars lovers in the house, it sounds a little bit like Darth Vader. Beautiful. And with the next inhale, invite your intention into the practice. Maybe your intention is, today I will get out of my mind and I will get into my body. Or maybe it's, I will not glorify busyness. I will allow myself to be open today to whatever arises. Or maybe defaulting back to one of the powerful intentions that seems to pop up over and over. I am enough. And you truly are. Just existing is enough. You can say it out loud. You can say it in your mind. Really feel it in your body. Let's take a big breath in together and let the breath go. Beautiful. Hopefully your strap is handy. Slide any blocks out of the way. Draw your knees in towards your chest and make some circles as the back draws down into the earth. We're going to take the strap. If you don't have a strap, just make a simple bind with your hands. Wrap the strap around the ball of the right foot and extend your left leg long. Gently ease up on your grip so that you're not stressing out your shoulders. You don't have to squeeze too tightly through the hands, just a soft grip. Longer straps are nice for that because then you can let your elbows and tops and triceps come down to the earth. And just gently with that foot flex, guide the leg toward your face, toward the top of the mat. Keep your sacrum rooted in. Your sacrum is the lower part of the spine, just above the tailbone, beneath the lumbar spine. Just feel it rooting. And then take both straps into your left hand and gently guide your leg across to about 10 or 11 o'clock on that imaginary clock. So for those of you, Hillary and company, who are looking for a little stretch into your IT band, try as you're pulling the strap to the left, try to press the edge of the right foot into the strap so that you're sort of resisting a little bit. Keep the foot flexed. Nice. Take a big breath. Try to loosen the jaw, relax the shoulders so you're not creating any tension anywhere else if this is an intense stretch for you. And then bring the leg back up. Transfer the strap into the right hand and bend the right knee, taking a little half happy baby shape. Feel free to stir into that right hip a little bit. And then with or without the bind, draw the right knee across the body, right arm extends to the right. We're just going to come into a spinal twist. So maybe your block is going to catch your knee, or maybe the knee falls to the earth, or maybe it hovers. Gaze over the right shoulder. Really think about lengthening the spine and then twisting. So you're not compressing anywhere. It's all about creating space, creating fluidity in the spine. One more breath. Nice. We're going to come back up to center, extend the right leg high to the sky, and send the left leg up to meet it. So both legs are bound by the strap now. Take one strap in each hand and start to open it. So you're in sort of an inverted, well, you're not inverted, you're in a V shape. The legs are in a V shape. And again, try to press the edges of the feet into the strap as you draw the strap into the center, just giving a little bit of resistance. Working your abductors here, feeling the outer thighs, the outer hips strengthen. One more breath. And then keep the left leg or left foot strapped. Right leg's going to release down to the earth, stretching into the hamstring here gently. And, sometimes that's a little too tight at the beginning of practice. So feel free to micro bend in the knee. Taking it nice and slow today for anyone who's just joining us. Really quieting the noise in the mind, slowing down the pace so we can tune into the body. That's why I wore my Costa Rica sloth shirt for you, because we're slowing it down. And then both straps in the right hand as you guide the leg over to like 2 o'clock, but resist. Press the edge of the left foot into the strap. Breathe into that stretch. One more breath. Nice. And then both straps back into the left hand, bend the left knee, half happy baby with some little motion into that left hip. You can continue the Ujjayi Pranayama if you've lost it, or you can do the Durga breath, or just breathe, fall into a natural breath pattern that feels right for you today. And then bring that strap across the body, crossing the left leg over the midline to the right, taking your spinal twist. Your head can float over your left shoulder. Giving each shape today time to take hold in the body. One more breath. And then we come right on back. Very nice. We're going to bring that right leg back up to meet the left. And see if you can start to rock and roll. Maybe you bend the knees a little bit to do this. Start to rock and roll a little bit. The strap really helps for resistance. Start to rock and roll. Use your core muscles more than you're using momentum. So feel the body controlling this. And come all the way up to a boat pose. Yeah. So once you're in your boat pose, and someone will have to let me know if my camera angle is wonky, because I can't tell, but y'all can see. Let's make sure y'all can see. Whoa, there we go. You're in a boat pose with your legs extended. You probably missed that whole time of me on the mat. I couldn't even tell if my mat was in the camera. So see if you can lift the spine a little taller. Extend the legs a little bit or micro bend them. Draw your elbows in towards your ribs. Breathe. Breathe again. And then slowly, with control, lower your heels down to the earth. So you're in a Dandasana shape. Your spine is nice and tall. Your legs are extended. Again, you have a nice grip onto your strap with the elbows drawn right to the ribs. Sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, start to lean forward. Maybe you choke up on the ends of the strap a little bit, using the spine as resistance to get a nice deep stretch into the legs. Breathe in. Breathe out. Think about reaching the crown of the head forward, tipping the tailbone back. Another big breath. Beautiful. Let the grip of the strap go. Just let it be. Come back up to your Dandasana shape and start to draw your right knee in towards your chest. We're going to sit up nice and tall. And you can cross the leg over the left thigh if you want, or keep it rooted right where it is. We're going to lift the left arm up to the sky. Big breath in. And as you exhale, either hug the right knee in or take your left elbow outside of the right knee and take a deep spinal twist. Rooting on the inhale, rising and twisting on the exhale. One more breath. Beautiful. Come back into center. Take that on the left side. So right leg extends, left leg draws in or crosses over. Sit up nice and tall. Reach up, reminding you of the spinal lengthening, and then twist. Hugging the belly in toward the spine, creating a little bit of space for the twist. Soften the shoulders from the ears. And notice how many times your mind wanders away from the body. Use your body, any part of the body, maybe the part of the body that you feel breathing, responding to that breath. Use that as an anchor to draw your attention back each time you notice your mind wanders. Come on back to center. We're going to take one more forward fold with or without the strap. Take a big breath in and exhale. Reach toward the feet or the toes. Maybe you take a bind. Maybe you grab the strap once again. Really feel those sit bones scooting back as the chest draws forward. And we're going to release the strap. Cross the legs. Just everything to the side. You'll need them in a moment. Across the legs. Make your way into a table position. From table, we're going to start to flow a little bit. Just a little gentle flow. Little spinal articulation here. So start to reach the crown of the head forward. Bend the elbows, lowering the chest down to the earth. Inhale as you lift the heart, feeling that extension through the front body. And then flex the spine, rounding like a cat, inviting the hips back to the heels. And then rock forward like the waves of an ocean, lapping up on shore. Lower down, igniting those triceps. Inhale, peel the heart up, and in one motion, round the back, tuck the pelvis, sink the hips back to the heels. And just start to move on your own, exaggerating anywhere you need to feel it in the body, maybe the shoulders, maybe you lift the hands. Really feel the navel drawing in, igniting those lower ab muscles. And then just find some soothing in the repetition in the way that you coordinate this movement to your breath. And maybe you begin to close the eyes and trust the body to move. There's something very soothing about familiarity and repetition. We're going to do 2 more of these. One more, full flow. Beautiful. Make your way to your child's pose. Feel the rooting and the grounding and the safety of this shape. Noticing all the touch points to the earth. Feeling the way your body is breathing in this moment. Beautiful. On the next breath, come right back up into table position and then find your way into a downward facing dog. And I shouldn't say find your way because it's a really intentional process to get there. So arrive with purpose, engaging where you need to. Coming into this inversion with some curiosity, some excitement. Shifting your perspective, shaking your head, yes and no and maybe, whatever that looks like. And then feel the grounding once again. Sink the heels, engage in the thighs, draw them toward one another. Just feel them rotating inward. Feel the shoulder blades slide down the back. That's away from the ears, toward the tailbone. One more big breath. Beautiful. Slowly make a walk to the front of the mat. Just a very slow journey, noticing all the leg muscles that are involved in that walk so you can appreciate them. Let yourself hang heavy, maybe bending and straightening the legs. Ragdoll those arms if you like. Swaying a little bit. Noticing what you're feeling in the body. And then release the hands. Take a very slow roll up to standing. Really, really slow. Honoring each vertebra as it stacks upon the one before it. Reach the arms up. Take the right hand on the left wrist, right hand on left wrist, and crescent over to the right side. Come back into center. Exhale over to the right once again. One more big breath in. Full breath out. This time, come back into center. Keep that same bind. We're going to cross the left foot over the right foot so the pinky toes touch. Big breath in as you rise. Full breath as you crescent. Just notice how the shape changed in the body. The sensations changed with that little adjustment of crossing the legs. Try to draw your left bicep out of your periphery, opening up through the ribs. One more breath. And then rise to center. Keep the legs crossed and exhale, forward fold. Great time to welcome those blocks back because it's a very intense stretch into the legs. Let the head hang, soften the neck. Breathe really deeply right to where the body needs it right now. Take another breath. That's a good time to bring the Ujjayi breath in when you really, really need that breath to nourish a deep stretch. Slowly start to rise. Welcome your left knee up. Find a little balance here. And then we're going to take a twist. So either open up the arms as you twist, keeping the hips squared with the front of the mat, or take your right hand on the edge of the left knee, pressing knee into hand, hand into knee for resistance, strengthening the hip stabilizers again, feeling the abductor. I always have to do the mnemonic in my head. Adductor, you add them together. Abductor, you separate them. So lift up on the inhale, twist deeper on the exhale. Let the gaze go to that left thumb. Smile because it's happening. And then come right back into center. Release the foot. Big breath in. Exhale, fold. Come back into that ragdoll shape. Letting the head and the neck and the shoulders be super heavy. And then slowly rise up. Again, really mindfully. There's no rush. Taking your time arriving. Arms lift. This time, left hand on the right wrist. Crescent over to the left. Inhale, arrive back to center. Exhale to the left. Just noting both feet are rooted, both legs are engaged. Beautiful. Come back to center. Keep the arm bind. Cross the left foot over the right. And maybe you do it without looking at it. Igniting your proprioception. Trusting it'll go where you want it to go. Because you know where your body is. You know where all the body parts are relative to one another. Take a big breath in. And crescent to the left. Anytime you can do proprioceptive challenges, we'll do a few today. It's a great way to just really connect with your body. Beautiful. Take one more big stretch into the right side. Draw the right bicep out of view. And then come back up to center. Release the bind. And exhale, fold. Getting that intense leg stretch. The head is relaxed. Crown of the head tipping down toward the earth. Remember that your blocks have 3 heights. There's a small, a medium, and a tall. So you can use the one that serves you best, and you can move them continuously throughout the practice to serve you. One more breath. Beautiful. Rise all the way up. Draw the right knee up. Find your stork. Balancing. Lengthen the spine. Then exhale. Twist to the right. You can use the hand on the knee. Or you can release the arms. Gaze over the right shoulder. Maybe track down to the right thumb. Energy flows where attention goes. So if you want to deepen the stretch, change your gaze. One more breath. You guys look amazing. And then come back into center and bring the hands to the heart. Just check in a moment with your breathing. Check in with the presence of your intention as inspiration. Big breath in. And full breath out. We're going to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long flat back. Plant the hands. Step one foot, then the other. Take your time feeling the lunge along the way. And then lower all the way down to the earth. Inhale, peel up. Maybe exploring a more full Bhujangasana, cobra pose. So your palms are rooted, the center finger pointing to the top of the mat. Shoulders are rolling away from the ears. The elbows and the arms are hugging the side body. Hips are rooted, tops of the feet and thighs pressing into the earth. One more breath. And retract slowly through cat pose, coming into a child's pose. No need to rush. Breathe in. Breathe out. From here, traveling back through table position, intentionally growing into your inversion, your downward facing dog. Breathe. And let it go. Take another slow walk, little slow journey, feet to the hands. Let nothing escape your awareness along the way. Rise all the way up. Bring your hands to your heart. We're going to keep the right foot planted where it is. Step the left foot all the way back into a high crescent lunge. Okay, do another little proprioceptive challenge here, just to bring awareness into the felt senses of the body without having to look at everything. You're just trusting. So first, find your way in your lunge. You're really engaged through those hip stabilizers. Feel the inward spiral of that back thigh, pressing down into that heel. We're going to lift the arms up and then reach forward, kind of find a little diagonal shape. So there's a long plane of energy from the crown of the head, down the neck, across the back, through the tailbone, down to that left heel. All right, so the way it works is you make little L shapes with your fingers, and you're going to connect the pointer and the thumb as you reach them forward. And then as you exhale, you're going to find the pointer and the thumb connect behind you. It's like a little sobriety test early in the morning. So inhale without looking, pointer and thumb connect up top, and they connect below. It's a good cognitive challenge. Inhale, reach. Exhale, connect. We're going to do one more. You got this. Big breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. From here, we're going to step the left foot in just a little bit. So the foot is flat, coming into preparing for a pyramid pose. So your feet are in two lanes of traffic. The legs are straight. Hips are squared. We're going to take a big breath in, lifting through the spine. And exhale, start to bow down. Bring the blocks back into the mix. We're going to have some fun with them. Use them if you need them now, but you may need them in a minute. And just consciously think about the relative positioning of the hips here. Consciously drawing that right hip back toward the back of the mat and draw the left hip forward toward the front of the mat. Melt your chest. Let the crown of the head relax. You can even take your hands and give that little cranial traction. Take one more breath. And we're going to find a twist here. So left hand is going to root down onto the block. You choose the height. And the right hand, begin by pressing the palm of the hand into the sacrum. And then start to twist to the right. Yes. And once you feel the hips are still stable and this twist is truly coming from the thoracic spine, then maybe start to reach your right arm up and let the gaze float at the right thumb. This is not easy, right? Simple, but not easy. Take another breath. And if you want to really jazz it up, you can turn this into a revolved half moon. Slide your block forward just a little bit. Shift into the right foot and lift the left leg as you're doing it. It's all a maybe, but know that that option is there for you. And if your hand right now is inside the right foot, see if you can place the hand, outside the right foot, by the pinky edge side of the foot, and just go a little deeper in the twist. Woo, this one gets me every time. 2 more deep breaths. 1 more big breath. Beautiful. Bring the hands down to frame the foot. We're going to step the left foot to meet the right, forward fold. And what I like to do here, because there's a lot of stretching right there into the muscles of the leg, I like to bend the knees, sort of like a rubber band, so that it's not so taut. And then we're going to rise all the way up to standing. Hands at the heart. Step the right foot back, finding your high crescent lunge. So nice and tall, hips squared to the front. Really press back into the right heel. Take a big breath in, and then reach. We're not bowing all the way. Our back is not completely parallel to the earth. We're at an angle here, a little diagonal. So power up into the legs. Get that L shape ready. Gaze down. Just fix your drishti so that you can trust your body to find its way to connect. As you inhale, pointers and thumbs connect. As you exhale, they find their way to connect behind the back. Keep the belly engaged as well. Inhale, reach forward. Exhale, behind the back. 2 more. Fully present for yourself, just as you are. Beautiful. From here, we're going to step the right foot in just a little bit, maintaining the two lanes of traffic. Straighten the legs. Here is a good time to also adjust the hips because you know we're going to be adjusting them as we fold into our pyramid pose. Nice and tall. And exhale, begin to hinge at the hips, using the blocks to help root you to the earth. Relax the neck. You don't have to hold your head up. Just let the head soften. Finding your pyramid here. Actively drawing left hip back, right hip forward. Just a small adjustment. Intense leg stretch, so it requires a really deep breath. Softness, acceptance. It also reminds you of the impermanence of discomfort, right? You know this won't last forever, but in the moment, you can comfort yourself with soothing thoughts and deep breath. Nice. Keep the right palm rooted on the block or the earth inside the left foot. We're going to take the left hand to the sacrum and gently begin to lengthen and rotate into the spine. And once you feel rotation, the hand can release and peel up to the sky. If you want to take it up, you can take it up, sliding the right palm forward, shifting into the left hand for your revolved Ardha Chandrasana, your revolved half moon. Just an option, not a requirement. And then you can also jack it up a little bit by taking the right hand to the outside of the left foot, intensifying that twist a little bit. Breathing into it. You've got 2 more breaths wherever you are. Beautiful. And release. Step the right foot to meet the left. Once again, bending and straightening into those legs. And then slowly bend the knees, bring the hips to the heels. We're going to roll right back into our boat pose. Have your strap handy. So maybe your boat is anchored. You're just checking everybody out on the shore. Or maybe you start to sail a little bit. Take your strap. We're going to put it around the ball of the right foot once again and straighten that leg and find a twist. So take the strap into your left hand with the left hand on the outside of the strap and open up the right arm. So again, the outer edge of the right foot is pressing into the strap. So you feel the abductors start to ignite. Lifting up out of the tailbone. One more big breath. Beautiful. Come back into center. See if you can transition to the other side without sacrificing the posture, the core engagement. So we're going to take the strap now into the right hand coming to the outside of the strap. Straighten that leg, flex it if you'd like, and twist to the left. So again, this left leg is very active. It's pressing into the edge of the strap as you're pulling the strap to the other direction. Breathe. Maybe each breath finds a little bit more space in the twist. One more breath. Very nice. Come on back to center. Stick both feet through. We're going to come back into our extended legged, supported, bound boat. Sit up nice and tall. Take one more breath. And then very slowly roll onto your back. All right, so from here, we're just going to give a little bit more stretch into those hammies. This is the legs up the wall, and using the strap really helps remind us of the importance of grounding through your entire back. Shoulders, middle back, lower back, sacrum. Feel the whole back flatten against the earth. And the feet are actively lifting, legs are lifting, feet flexed, stamping the sky. Maybe you feel yourself tilting your pelvis down a little bit, just rooting. One more breath. Nice. And then we're going to get rid of the strap. Just stay here for a few more breaths, noticing how the shape changes or if it does change. Trying to maintain the integrity. Very nice. We're going to take the right leg and cross it over the left. Pinky edges of the feet kissing once again. And then bring those feet, lower the heels all the way down to the left corner of the mat. Reach the arms up overhead. Take that side body stretch again. Left hand to the right wrist. So you open up through the right side. Beautiful. Bring the spine back into center. Keep squeezing the right thigh over the left thigh. Lift the heels up, coming to like a little eagle bind with the legs. And then let the knees drift to the left, coming into another spinal twist. Maybe the knees come closer to the earth now. There's always a block to catch them if you need support. Shoulders stay connected. Not only is this a really nice spinal twist, it's a good opening for that right side hip. The outer hip. Come on back up to center. Legs back up to the sky. And feel free to bicycle or kick or shake or anything that's needed to bring relief into the legs. And then we'll cross the left over the right. Pinky toes kiss. Mwah. Slowly letting the heels come down to the right corner of the mat. Arms reach up overhead. Right hand to the left wrist. Stretching through the left side body. Finding a crescent shape. This kind of reminds me of the sloth. So if you're not familiar with the sloths are pretty amazing animals, but they're not the brightest bulbs in the lamp. And we were at a sloth sanctuary once in Costa Rica where they rescued all these injured sloths. And one of them, the story of it was, and this probably happens often, where they move very slowly. They come down from the tree once a week to poop. And so they were coming down the tree, and the sloth had the branch in his hand, And then he took his other hand onto the branch, but it wasn't a branch. It was his own hand. He thought his own hand was a branch. And so he was kind of one-arming it, and that wasn't enough, and he fell because he was really heavy. Poor little sloth. So this reminds me of that sloth when we have one hand grasping. All right, come on back into center. Again, my musings. Cross the left thigh over the right, squeeze the thighs together, and then tip the knees off to the right side. You too can visit a sloth sanctuary if you come with me to Costa Rica in the year 2021, November, when everything will be okay again. I'm certain of it. All the details are on eatyogadrink.com. But in the meantime, just be present for yourself, breathing into the body. One more breath. Beautiful. Come back to center. Take your final stretches, maybe a full happy laughing baby. You can do it with the strap too to bring a little bit more resistance, a little bit more power maybe into it. Spread the legs nice and wide and draw down. This feels really good in the hips, really good on the lower back. Maybe there's something else that you're craving from your practice today. Take about 5 more breaths, exploring shapes that feel good to you, final stretches. And then eventually letting it go and making your way down to Shavasana. Again, Shavasana, simple but not easy. Because we're confronting stillness once again. And maybe you have the habit of filling up that quiet space with planning because you feel like that's what you should be doing, right? Let go of that should. Don't should on yourself. Let yourself simply be in a space of existence. And that is enough. So once you arrive in your final shape, take a big breath in. Let it all go. Settling into this new moment with a fresh perspective and open awareness. Reading by Donna Falls. What weight can you put down right now? Willingly relinquishing the pointed quills of guilt or judgment? What burden of the heart can lift? What dark corner can be lit? The candle flickering at first, then burning bright. With the next breath, let it go. That old story you've told yourself 1,000,000 times. Whatever doesn't serve you on this path of truth, leave it behind. Offer this one gift, this simple sacrifice that in the giving sets you free to fully live. Bring awareness back into your breath, feeling present, feeling alive. Start to welcome movement back into the body as well. Feeling the gifts of your physical form. And then slowly make your way to a comfortable seated position. Bringing your hands to the heart, good heart center. Thank you so much for practicing with us, for slowing things down, taking it at a different pace, and being fully present for yourself to feel all the feels. The love and the light in me honors the love and the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with us today.